Whatever. Anyway, yo, son, you just gotta understand, the market is rigged. It don't matter what. The market is gonna be rigged. You keep playing in the rig system, think you got a chance. Nah, them charts is take your bread away. Anyway, episode 10, right? If it is 10.
Nah, this is 3.
Oh, this is 3.
This is 3. We're back in here with episode 3.
All right. Yeah, well, we'll get there one day to episode 10, if it is. Cause, oh yeah,
man, you sent me that, man. Everybody in her business.
Yeah, we should clap it up for Kwani's last day then.
It's episode 3 though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, we'll go with that episode 3, but 10. I was gonna talk to y'all about profiting off of certain demographics.
Bro, come on with this, man.
All right. What do you want to talk about?
Not that.
All right.
Not that. We can talk about this whole Bonnet situation, honestly.
Oh, all right. I mean, that's a horrible topic.
All right, we'll leave him alone. We'll leave him alone.
It's ignorance at its finest that's going nowhere. There's no defense or way to stop this dumb shit to happen. I mean, whichever way it goes.
Could still commentate on it. You know, document the train crash. I guess.
Have fun. Do your thing. What's your opinion on what part of it? Wait, is the Bonnet thing specifically the bonnet and the bonnet emoji, right? Mm-hmm. It's two different things: real life bonnets and then real life.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of didn't even know the bonnet thing was a thing. It's like I saw it, you know, but I didn't really know how widespread it actually was. I guess because the circles I move in, and like I don't be out like that.
There was a few Kevin Samuel episodes on that.
Yeah, once he started talking about it, I really started noticing it. Like, you know, like how when you say, "Oh, there's a lot of red cars," or like when somebody talks to you about a specific kind of car, and then you start seeing that car everywhere.
Photo effect.
Yeah. So that's
kind of buggy.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with me, and I was like, I started seeing them everywhere after that. But then I was like, damn, it was actually widespread the whole time.
Yeah, well, it kind of replaced the head tie. The head tie was
I remember that.
That head
scarf.
That
I remember. Yeah.
That was
you know what? I feel like even that could have been done much more stylishly. I didn't at times, you know, I feel like that looks kind of wild, but then other times I'm like, it looks good.
I kind of think about, because we saw that girl in the O'Shea video where it's like her bonnet was looking like real regal, like
that bought the black and red one, right?
Yeah, it looked really nice. Like
hers look a little majestic.
So I was kind of thinking like, okay, what's the difference between that?
There was a difference. You know why? Because immediately we saw it and noticed, that was a difference.
But I'm saying, like, what's the difference between that and like, say, like what they do in the Middle East, where like the women all wear these
the head scarves
and all that stuff.
It's shaped. The hijab is shaped differently, and it's tied to religion,
right? To the culture and all that.
Honestly, though, it's the same. That head tie is the same through almost all the religions,
right?
So over here they didn't keep up with it. Christianity didn't keep up with it over here.
I ain't never heard even Christians ever using it.
I mean, Christians used it forever up until like maybe 50, 60 years ago.
Even if you look at, I guess, like
I never even seen
like old
that
school. There was certain,
you wasn't alive. Beat it.
There's no depiction in any show I've seen. Wait, again, don't call.
Maybe 70 years ago.
Don't call that hat that the Amish be wearing.
I'm not talking about their bonnet. No, they're not. But the Christian head tie is the same thing. It is a bonnet. It's the name of it. It's called a bonnet.
It's called a bonnet.
It is called a bonnet.
You know, Blue Bonnet? Isn't there like a brand?
This guy doesn't understand. It's a bonnet. It's a bonnet. It's just that, you know.
I always called it like a shower cap. Like that's what I used to say, but I didn't know there was like a
shower cap.
That's how I always saw it. Like, that's what you put on when you want to go in the shower.
No, but you know the bonnet with the little brim in the front, the original with the little laces at the bottom.
Right. So I'm just like thinking, okay, well, maybe there's a little argument where they could say, well, this is normal clothing, but at the same time, I think it's more like why you're wearing it, sort of. And it's like with a lot of these girls who are wearing the bonnet, it seems like it's just like I'm just being lazy sort of thing. I don't want to like put myself together.
Should get a woman's opinion on
kind
this
of thing. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This is the perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
This would be the perfect topic, actually.
There you go. But now that we don't have no chicks here today, yeah, maybe it does contribute to a lot of laziness.
Misogyny.
Has nothing to do about talking about bonnets, but
It does though. I mean, a woman would beg to differ, I'm sure, on that. A lot of them.
how so?
You see, you're thinking like a man. You're being logical. That's it.
Oh man, but so are you pro bonnet or?
I mean, I don't care, but I can certainly understand the criticism behind it. Of like, damn, why? Because like I said, there does seem to it seems to be accompanied by like a certain level of just laziness. It's like, blah, like whatever, like black women, black people in general, but in this case, black women. Oh, actually, the black men are wearing it too a lot. Because I saw another video where it's like black men are wearing
black
bonnets.
Men are
yeah,
wearing
black men are wearing
now?
bonnets too. Yeah, that's a thing now.
Okay.
So it kind of goes back to like the whole Kevin Samuels thing with the whole image and all that.
Judge, I got me weak. He said, okay.
Nah, I didn't hit you with the South Park joint.
You definitely hit the South Park on that.
So, wait, yo, Zell, you pro bonnet then? Why you looking at me like that?
Bro, in the manner that I've seen, no, I'm not.
For men either?
Oh yeah, you wearing it to sleep? Go ahead. But if you got one with the brim and some strings, yeah. Or you got one that looks like the lady we seen earlier, definitely do your thing.
Or what we seen earlier, the one with the big brim, crazy?
No, not the.
Oh, the bonnet was you talking about the purple joint in the video?
Not the purple. It was a black and red one.
Oh,
but hers looked really good.
Seen a bonnet that looked like you could fit a regular afro from the 60s, those type of. I seen a bonnet like that, and I was like, it was a meme that was like, yo, after you versed all the lunch ladies or some shit, that's the Shao Kahn, yeah, the final boss of the joint. But
I think it just comes down to like why you're wearing it. If we had like some sort of culture where that's just the thing that we wear, where it's like a uniform, it's a cohesive sort of thing.
I don't know.
It
doesn't. I for the most part, the one that's commonly worn, it just doesn't look good. I don't think it looks good. In the crib, yeah, do your thing. Outside, it just, I don't know, the appearance of it just, something doesn't seem right.
That brings me to another point actually. Like I look at pictures of people way back in the day, and it was like there was more or less a uniform. Like people, like the fashion style that people had back then, it was much more like cohesive. Like people were wearing like trench coats, and like everybody, there was still some room where you could be an individual, but for the most part, it was like very cohesive in terms of the style of dress. Nowadays, especially in New York City and stuff, it's like people will just wear anything, and it just looks kind of crazy.
More of a statement. Society's push towards individualism.
Right, that's what I was pretty much getting at. So I wonder if that's I guess we could get into that. Like, is that a good thing or a bad thing that we've moved more towards people just asserting their own personal will?
I think it's both. It comes with large set of pros and cons. You give people a chance to
express
delve
them
more into themselves. Yeah,
I don't know.
But on the other hand,
no, actually, it isn't. It's not.
Hold
people
up,
aren't expressing themselves.
Yeah, they are.
People are following like sheep on whatever fashion.
We said
icon.
Individualism.
It's the people not individualism.
Who's doing because that would tie into what Kwani's saying. Like, it's one set. If you're dressing the same as everybody else, that's not really under the umbrella of what we were saying.
But
that would be
people
you.
Are.
That would be you, all right, but they're not in this category that we're talking about.
I guess what it comes,
because who you're talking about, if they're dressing for individualism, it's very small group.
It's like, yeah, there's people who are gonna like kind of like
not really
like hipster type shit.
It's not.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I mean, there's
like
he's saying they like people in New York wearing outlandish stuff.
If you go into people in New York wearing outlandish stuff, right? We all categorize them as something, and we know that it's a group of people who's doing that. But
even that group, it'll be a smaller group, and still
the point. I think it would be, bro. The ultimate point. I think,
what's a smaller group? Because
if somebody is dressed in outlandish, what you most you're gonna say is, oh, they wildin'. You don't have a group for them.
Yeah, and those would be the individual, which is rare. You don't have a lot of people not being like, we mostly dress the same, so we don't look outlandish and from others.
It depends. When you do certain things, people are gonna tell you the same thing. Oh, he wildin'.
It's a spectrum.
Why you put that on?
It's a spectrum.
And,
so like
that's why I'm going with. It's not.
It's
the group individuals is not. It's very minuscule,
bro. Unless you talk, most people are not having custom made clothes. Yeah, there's certain things that might be similar, but the way you put yourself together, the stuff you decide to wear, yeah, that's individualism.
It's a spectrum. So back then, like I was saying, even back then, 1950s and before, there was still some little things you could do to, like you could have a different color tie, like stuff like that. But now the spectrum is much more broad. So it's more about like you have the freedom, hypothetically, to do whatever you want. And that's kind of why we see like different pockets of, I guess, fashion developing. And there's always going to be some people who, because we're social creatures at the end of the day. So there's always going to be people who gravitate to this style or that style. There's always going to be some contingency of people who are dressing in a particular kind of way, because all it takes is for some other people to see that one person who's starting the trend to start kind of, following them.
For the selection of brands, right? If you're wearing a brand name, that brand name is being sold to millions of other people.
If you're wearing a brand name,
which most of the time, people are like what the sneakers you got right now, right? They Pumas, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people with them sneakers.
Again, it's a spectrum. So it's like you have the most popular brand, and then you can scale that all the way down to, I made these shoes myself.
Yeah. No, people's not making them shoes themselves, and people, see, the rarity of individualism is,
so
it's
you're
up there, basically.
Your argument kind of seems to be like true individualism, which is like
almost no. It's
non-existent.
Individualism is really non-existent because most of us have a brand name on us, and
that's why I say it's
plenty of people doing that. So that's why I mean, like, all right, now back in the days, people on the fashion is still cheap. Like most of the time, you had to have your suit, at least your one good suit or whatever, and your one good dress.
I mean, you gotta understand too, it wasn't as readily available for you to just buy every type of thing. It's not 30 clothing stores.
Yeah,
and you could probably only afford that one suit.
And in society, it was much more socially enforced for you to not be looking like, like different. You look at some of these people walking around now with like we were in the weirdo park, as we call it. And it's like, you remember the dude with the
hold on,
green hair or something?
Hold on. Don't just say we was in the weirdo park like people was wondering.
What was y'all doing?
Nah, we be bike riding in the city, and then after we might stop at a park that's close to his crib,
right?
And just to chill, and then after we'll. Like a stop break.
What's going on at this park?
Nah, we just see mad people dress like
it's very progressive park. We'll put it like that.
Wild different.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? When I say people are dressing wild different, right? In this park right here,
yeah,
a lot of them, even though it's wild different to us, a lot of them are dressed the same. Like you can be
yeah, but that's probably that's their group though.
Yeah, and that's why I said people aren't dressing individually either.
But at the same time, it's like you would have a hard time. Like there was one girl who had like some, I don't know what those pants were. Like it was kind of like the genie, Aladdin pants type thing, and it was really cool. You would be hard pressed to find someone else wearing that.
Yeah.
So it's like there's
there is that few like that, which is a small group.
Not necessarily. I mean, we're all individuals. no two people look the same aside from I guess
I ain't gonna go that far.
Yeah, but
you can find you
similar. Again, going into what I was saying, spectrum. It's a spectrum. It's not like that black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but the spectrum is very, very short. Then I would say
it's bigger than it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than it was. I think. Whereas like back then, pretty much everybody, like, you could look at pictures. 1950, 1920. It was like the dress style was very like uniform.
You got your top hat looking like Mr. Monopoly Man and all
right.
that.
And
if you got money, you had a top hat. Top hat's not everybody's hat.
And you had some differentiation. You had different kind of hats. You had like the, like the Odd Job from, what's that GoldenEye movie or James Bond movie? You had that hat.
You had your shoe shine hat.
You had different. You had the higher ones.
Y'all talking about people that was getting money.
Different bands.
A shoe shine hat. That's you was working. You was working. Getting a dime of shoe shine or
that was a lot back then.
I would say that sounds like a lot of money. You ain't buying a house, but eventually you can.
Oh man. Nowadays, what you wearing? You throwing any? You throwing a new era on?
New era what?
Fitted.
I'll still bust a Yankee.
But more snapback then.
I had the snapback. Well, I didn't. Let me not say that. I had the Velcro back.
Oh,
my man was coming at me for the Velcro back.
That's different.
He said, "What you got, the little kid?" But on the real though, I really like the hat, so I didn't care. But
now I'm on the dad hat, golf hats.
Oh yeah, but you see me with those. That's the regular.
Yeah, but that new era, it seemed like it died out. Even though
it just got, I think it got more crazy. Remember they used to be $20.
Oh
yeah,
it
went to 25. I think it's like 50 now.
Last one I was buying, I think it was like 30, 35. And
Yeah.
I still was like, nah, you ain't getting that for me.
That's your mind changed at that point.
Yeah.
Could you imagine another $15? You're like, nah.
Yeah, and it was real easy to mess up a fitted. Like someone sit on it.
I was about to say you put your hat on the couch, somebody sit back, could never wear that hat again. It got a permanent dent on the top.
Yeah. Where your hat game at with it? Like you.
I never really been into hats like that. Despite my hairline, like I never really.
Yeah, that should be more of a reason to be into hats.
To me, it's more of a reason not to, because you gotta take that shit off eventually. So.
No, you don't. You can still wear a hat in church.
No, you can't.
That's true.
No, you can't.
I've seen people with fitteds on in church.
Isn't that the whole thing where women, the women have the
woman
big old fancy
could wear the hat?
Oh.
Like in where Jews go to temple, they're like you're supposed to wear a hat to show a sign of respect to God in temple, but Christians is like you're supposed to.
But that's such a small hat. It's not even.
You talking to yarmulke?
Yeah. So
kippah, also known as a kippah.
I was watching.
I think that's the.
That's what I was watching. I was watching a show too. I was watching
they're below God.
Boardwalk Empire, and my son had the shoe shine hat, and he was telling them, "Oh no, keep your hat on, because it's a sign." He's like, "Oh, then Christians want to smack you over the head." If he was talking to the character Al Capone, and then after he's like kept his hat, and he was like, "Oh, you want to be respected as a man, but you wear the hat of a boy." And that, I mean, not the shoe shine, the livery newspaper boy hat. That one, that's what he was wearing. So my son got him a top hat. Stopped wearing that hat.
I forgot that. I forgot what that style was funny.
Not the full top hat, the rounded like bob.
There are certain things you wear that kind of it does change. You know that. We've been outside in certain fits. You know how you feel in certain clothes.
Yeah, some clothes like they change your body posture and all that.
You change your body
makes you walk different.
Your confidence is up. Now you're back straight.
Yeah, but a hoodie on will make you intimidated as a black man in America.
It's cold outside.
I mean, being a black man in America is already intimidating, it seems. But that hoodie, something about that hoodie just...
Well, something about a certain person wearing that hoodie.
A black man.
Yeah. Exactly.
The hoodie's not intimidating on everybody.
Yeah, it's not. Like Asian girls or white girls wearing them oversized hoodies.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be intimidating.
I actually saw a girl like that on a train.
That's a trend.
That is a trend.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, I stole my boyfriend's clothes kind of thing. I saw a chick like that.
Now they put it on.
But now they don't have that boyfriend, and they just go buy it in the store.
Yeah, there's boyfriend fit now.
Yeah, like you be having them oversized boyfriend shirts.
Hey yo,
exactly.
I like the oversized tees. It is what it is. The pump cover shirt.
Pause.
Pump cover shirt. Everybody knows that.
My son,
all the gym goers know.
You are not Ronnie Coleman. Nobody.
I ain't hiding nothing with that. But
who the fuck is that?
I don't even think we that far in for you to be dropping bombs.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing about this podcast. It gets interrupted here and there. I ain't buzzing nothing, but anyway.
Yeah,
culture's different, but
who could it be?
I know, I think I know, but
is it a package?
Nah, I don't know, but think I'm about to bring that back, like the get my suit game up, cause
bro, we're supposed to be doing that already.
Yeah, I don't be having events to go to with my suits. I mean, with a tuxedo, but the suit game gonna get up there, cause formal wear is kind of where, as the older you get, I guess, you get interested. You're not, because we are brought up in a different era, but if we was brought up like, probably, if we were born like 50 years earlier.
50 years, we would be wearing what we still. We'd probably be in Black Panther clothes.
Wait, what? 50 years from now, you mean?
50 years ago, you would have probably had the fro right now with the black.
Oh, black. I'm thinking the movie. You see how the movie is in my mind versus
the actual movement.
Yeah, the movement of those.
What movie?
Black Panther movie.
Oh, okay.
Is in my mind versus when you said Black Panther instead of the actual movement.
I think I think they do that on purpose. Where it's like they'll have certain names.
Yeah. Whether it's
a person and they'll kind of like reappropriate
like,
it.
Like, what was the name of that movie? Was it wasn't
which movie though?
For the actual Black Panthers, where it was called something Betrayed, because they couldn't call it Black Panther because the superhero movie's already out.
Yeah.
So they called
who, the guy from Get Out is in it? Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
You know, this ain't the time to stop talking, right?
I mean, that buzzer kind of, like somebody rang the bell. I guess that kind of threw us off a little.
Nobody's about to go get it, bro.
All right.
Well. Nah, you looked up the wrong name.
Yeah,
up Son.
I think he's in the actual. Yeah,
he's
in the movie Black Panther too. Yeah, Judas, the lack of the Black Messiah. Yeah, which is was the dude's name actually Judas?
No.
So they just was quoting the Bible.
Yeah, I guess I did. Because since they put Messiah in it, they had to use,
Because the only time I ever hear the name Judas, I don't know a person named Judas.
Not no more. No, nobody. Come on, think about that.
What? No.
Yeah. Nobody's trying to
name their kid
unless
Judas.
you have a different Judas you're talking about. You're not naming your kid.
Yeah, I mean, hey, my name's in the Bible, but that's where my mom got it from. But
yeah, because why wouldn't somebody use your name? Is easy. It's a good one.
Yeah, but damn, Judas is the name stained so badly. Yo, I can't even name. Damn,
kind of like Adolf or something.
Nah, I mean, I should nickname some people I know Judas though. They they definitely fit the description. Greasy. But yeah, nah. I'm gonna give up. I'm not gonna completely give up the hoodie era, but that's where it's at. Shit.
I actually wanted to wear hoods more after like the whole Trayvon Martin thing. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I think they had a little movement with that for a little while.
You're not gonna steal my hoodie, and I'm gonna wear it even more now just to
That's how you was coming with it? Not gonna steal my hoodie?
so
I don't think that was. I don't think that's what they was going for.
I mean, that's what I was going for. I was like, damn, I don't like the fact that
you're not gonna steal this hoodie.
That I feel uncomfortable, or I might feel uncomfortable wearing a hoodie now because people are gonna make certain assumptions. Like, whatever, let them make the assumption. That's their problem, not mine.
Well,
unless they want to make it my problem.
Yeah, it could be made your problem.
Then I guess we both have a problem at that point.
Oh shit. Oh shit! Like the bus driver. Oh, you done it now?
Nah, he said you going to jail now.
Yeah. Pack up season. Give me a reason. Shit.
No. It's back. Yeah, and we back, and
you don't even have to do that.
Yeah,
just do like
back.
A little fade on the video.
Yeah. We taking it to. This guy hates my topics. Every topic I notice, I mention. Yo, nah, that shit whack. Which one? No, every topic.
No, we done talked on most of the podcasts have been on your topics. What the fuck you mean? Most of them we've done, and we just did a whole episode on it. That whole profiting off of incel shit is just kind of
I didn't say profit off of incels.
Whatever you was thinking.
I said profit on certain groups, and now you want to bring it to incels, which was my next topic. I said that before we was off camera. See,
I ain't using those words. I ain't calling nobody no incel.
You don't think anybody is an incel?
What does it mean?
Exactly.
Gotta break down the words.
It's not really in my vernacular.
Break it down, Kwani.
It means, well, actually, it was a woman who came.
I think, yeah, I just think it's a insult short is used to make somebody back down, but I don't really see.
That's what they've turned it into. Because nowadays, any guy who disagrees with a woman on anything is an incel.
Yo,
that's how they use the term now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the definition right now, and the picture that pull up, I think he might have been a serial killer.
Elliot Rodger.
Who is he?
He's like the most famous so-called incel. And he's from that same neighborhood of that white people podcast.
Oh, what did he do though?
He shot a bunch of people, wrote a manifesto, killed himself, deleted himself, and all that.
See, it says a member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually, typically associated with views that are hostile towards women and
that's actually a bullshit definition. It's crazy how they're redefining words on the fly these days. That is insane.
So what's the definition of you?
It literally means involuntary celibate. That's involuntary celibate. That's how.
So it's an acronym, really.
Yeah, you can see it in the etymology right there.
All right, origins. Oh,
that's crazy. Wow, I didn't even know they had a dictionary definition at this point. But that just goes to show you like how they're dictating
wait.
language.
This shit seems like it was used long before.
It was actually. Yeah.
I never heard.
And it was a woman that came up with the term too.
Let's heard of it.
Let's click that Wikipedia, see where we're going with this.
Oh, okay.
Wikipedia is also mad biased at this point.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to like politically
social
charged things.
No, go down. Go. Let's go to the history though.
History. Shit, y'all must have forgot. There you go. Wait.
So it wasn't used at all before that. Why'd they even have that chart?
Because it's etymology. You have to go back all the way to the very earliest use of the term that's recorded. So, it's only been recently used in the recent, I want to say, 5 years.
Yeah, I think you was part of the trend of making it come back.
Oh, but she was talking about herself.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But there's money to be made there. But yeah, so you don't think incels exist? If someone categorizes themselves as
somebody who wants to have sex,
I think the way it's used now is more derogatory than its initial meaning.
True.
Mm-hmm. See, in the definition of involuntary,
somebody who wants to have sex, but they're either having a really hard time or just flat out can't.
From what I read just now, it was saying, it's more of a term of loneliness.
Okay,
I guess you could put something like that on it, but it's like
what you mean put something like that on it? She came up with it.
Yeah, but it's like strictly speaking, a woman can't be. Women can get it whenever they want. Like,
I mean, she obviously came up with it because that's her experience.
I think
your opinion doesn't invalidate her experience.
Yeah, that's cool. Your experience doesn't make words facts.
Okay, so there's a woman out there who wants to have sex but cannot.
Technically,
that's not what she's saying.
Who's lonely against her own will.
Well, I don't think. All right,
she can't.
You can be lonely. What's lonely against her own will?
She's lonely, and nobody wants to make her unlonely or be like her companion.
You don't believe that's possible?
For a woman, like you got to jump through a lot of hoops to
Why
really
would you
make
have to
that.
jump through hoops?
All right,
because a woman at the end of the day, she could go open any dating app.
Let me say this. Let me say this before everything is only on that.
What Instagram?
Walk outside.
Even though. Anyway, the point of the whole incel thing, it doesn't really exist. Because if you do want sex, you can go get it. Anybody can get it. You just got to put the effort in to go get it.
You got to let the expert speak.
Wait.
Celibate.
You can't be involuntary celibate if you don't. I mean, you could be that if you didn't put an effort in to.
Bro, you got to understand though. Putting in effort is a lot for a lot of people. There's almost anything you can accomplish putting in effort.
No. There's not anything. There's a lot of things you can't accomplish no matter how much effort you put.
Almost. That word means a lot, no?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying.
So here's the thing.
And putting in effort.
It's a complicated issue.
Some people don't want to put in effort, and that's very evident in many aspects of life.
That doesn't mean that you can't actually accomplish not being an incel. Just because you didn't want to put the effort in. Or just because you didn't put enough effort in.
In the case of like,
all right, boom. So in the time you're putting in effort, you can be lonely until your effort meets your expectation.
Yeah, but like to go.
Nobody said she was like that forever. She could have been like that for a couple years.
To go into the definition that you're involuntarily celibate. You're not. There's no you involuntary. It's all on your effort.
Wait, go back to that.
So what if
first of all, let me see something.
What if you got the lower half of your body chopped off?
Go back to the Wikipedia page. I was reading part of it.
Yeah. What if you got the lower half of your
body chopped off?
Oh, see, but look.
So you can't have sex, or you can.
That's involuntary, even though you might still want to.
That's a eunuch, and I don't think. I think the body suppresses certain hormones after that. But
does the person want to have sex?
Read the last two sentences, Kwani.
Where on the paragraph?
Yeah, of this.
This right here.
She expressed regret at
the that's the last sentence. The one above it. Yeah,
like a scientist who wanted.
No, not out loud, and everybody don't want.
I mean, people would like to know what you're reading, so you could. Because what are you talking about?
I'm on the topic, but I just wanted to.
Yeah. Okay. So she's upset that the word was changed.
No, but I mean, social awkwardness and marginalization and mental illness can make you.
Yes. I mean, you're making the
undesirable, and would contribute to you being lonely.
Correct. I agree. It's like
does it mean you have to be lonely? No. You can make the change.
What? Oh man! Oh my god!
I was gonna say there's really
forget the doctors, forget your illnesses.
That's why I was saying. That's why I was saying like you have to jump through a lot of hoops to make that a real thing for a female, and there are females where it's like
it's not just females.
You gotta let me talk. You gotta let me talk. Because I've been in these communities for many years now. I'm like literally the expert here on this topic. So it's like.
Expert on mental illness and social
on the incel phenomenon, and like
hold on, let him break this down.
Go ahead, break this down, Connie.
You going in differently too.
So it's like with a woman, it's only really the product of mental issues, because at the end of the day, she could open anything, she could walk outside. She pretty much any woman is going to receive some sort of attention or companionship, particularly from the opposite sex. In the case of a man, you could argue you can't be an involuntary celibate as a man because all you got to do is make a little bit of money and just pay for it. But the people in these communities, they would actually argue that doesn't really count because any guy can do that, and like it's a different thing from paying for it as opposed to like having a woman genuinely be into you like that.
All right, that's where I would say you're wrong. Because what are we talking about? What is the exact words we're talking about? Involuntary celibacy. What's celibacy?
Celibacy is without sex.
Okay. Now, if you can have sex, if you put the effort in, if you paid for it, if you didn't pay for it indirectly, if you're getting it from just talking to somebody, it's still sex.
I don't think
so. Those people in those communities,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's people who would argue what you're saying. I don't think it's that
simple for them though. I don't think they want, like you're saying, to pay for it.
No. It's not about your wants. I'm talking specifically about the words. Involuntary, we know what that means. Celibacy, we know what that means. Now, all the behind factors about effort, mental health, all that shit don't matter. Sex is sex. Celibacy is without having sex. No, what I'm saying is, if you use the word for what it means, and all those words, you don't have to misappropriate. Sex is sex regardless if you paid for it, if you didn't pay for it, if you talked your way into it.
This is the exact. This is literally the exact same debate that's been happening in the incel communities for years now. just so you know. And
but like, I wouldn't argue in that community because
I want to know. But what's the sides to that? What is that? What's the outcome?
There's one side. There's one side where it's like there's a bunch of dudes on the communities where it's like. They are paying for it flat out, and they're just like, all right, the rest of you guys are stupid. You should just pay for it. You're never gonna get this Disney relationship, blah blah blah. But at the same time, it's many different facets to it. 'Cause you have some guys who are doing that, and they're also like, damn, like this is not really satisfying at all. I just feel like crap after I pay for it, and then you have guys that will never pay for it.
Buyer's remorse is a factor, so.
And then you have guys who would never pay for it because they want what they would consider to be the genuine article. Like they really want like a genuine.
They want that experience.
Yeah, like a typical, I guess, high school love.
You want to be cheap. You want to be cheap. That's really all it is.
Bro, it's not that. A lot of these people have money. They got money. A lot of these dudes have money and they're not doing that.
Yeah, but just because you have money don't mean you can't be cheap. Like, I want to talk my way to a girl into having sex with me, instead of giving her money.
But they're spurting on a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, no matter what, I think you're still paying for sex because the clothes you buy for a chick. That's
another argument. But again, so you got like here's another aspect. There's like one of the main issues or concepts is the whole thing of Chad, which I talk about too. And it's like it's kind of like they're comparing themselves to Chad. And it's like, as far as they're concerned, Chad is just sitting around scratching his balls, probably homeless. But because he has the look that women are looking for, that's attractive to them, he doesn't have to do shit.
Yeah, you complaining about other people's effort. That's really all it is.
And I'm about to say, as far as you know, you don't know what that guy's doing. He could be working out, got a skincare routine, taking improv classes. He's probably doing every possible thing to improve himself.
It's kind of the same argument that you see in the red pill sector, where it's like, but the black pill stuff is more extreme. That's kind of what the incel stuff is. So in the red pill, the argument is like, I don't want to wife up a chick that a bunch of dudes already ran through for free. It's kind of like an extension of that argument.
Damn. Some of these arguments be
straw man arguments.
It just be a lot of bitching, and it be also you crying for things to be fair. Life ain't fair. So either you got to put extra effort more than others, or you got to put less effort than others.
It's a crossroads. It's a crossroads.
That's exactly the point, though.
The same person who could be complaining about, complaining about a Chad, oh, they don't have to put effort to get girls, and you got to put mad effort into play girls. Shit, there's people who have to put effort into just staying alive.
True. And somebody else has it worse.
Yeah. So with someone always has it worse, it's been a recession out here. Stop bitching. That's just
it's a crossroads. So it's like at some point or another.
that's not it, bro.
Like that's the difference between what I call the red pill and the black pill. So it's like or even something like men going their own way, MGTOW. Okay. So it's like there's two roads you could go down. You could acknowledge the red pill reality or whatever, and you could say, okay, I'm gonna become the best version of myself, etc., etc. I'm gonna be the best me I can be and maximize my like my opportunities
and status,
or
yeah.
you could just be like, fuck this. I'm not doing this. I don't feel like it. The juice is not worth the squeeze to me.
Okay. I mean,
so those are the two paths.
You could say, I think, hey, it's cool. Say fuck this, whatever. But don't be bitching about the effort you got to put in now after you done said fuck this. Like, I don't want to do this, and I see other people got it easy. Like, I ain't trying to hear. It sounds like you're feminizing yourself. You complaining about other people's advantages. Like, yo, this life ain't fair. You got to do what it do. Like, you got to put in what amount of effort you got to put in for what you want.
So yeah, I mean, you're kind of comparing your walk to someone else without even knowing the walk, you know?
Yeah, we was just talking about comparison of how either it's natural or you're grown into you're comparing yourself to others.
Yeah, I mean, because you, like, at the end of the day, you watching what someone is you watching the end result of something. Mm-hmm. You wasn't there for the whole process, what happened, what was going on. You just believe this is their natural life. Sometimes you never know.
Some people are just born with silver spoons.
You know? All right, yeah. But that's not as
I'm not saying those people can't have problems. Like, everybody has their trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Some people problems are worse. Some people problems is not as bad.
It's all relative. Yeah. Like a rich person stubbing their toe probably hurts a lot more.
We're talking real problems.
I didn't even know where you was going with that.
No, that's pain. But
that's pain to anybody. Kicking the foot of your bed is pain to anybody.
Yo, especially if you just catch the pinky toe by itself.
Yeah,
that might change your whole day, son. You got an attitude all day after that. But what I was saying back on the other hand was not you on the silver spoon part. You're saying with the Chads and this, that, or other people of the world. Mm-hmm. You don't know if they was always like that. Like,
I mean, you do, because it's like the whole thing that makes,
did you know them their whole life?
The thing that makes a person quote unquote Chad is just purely genetics. Is like you're born an attractive looking person.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who weren't always like that. Like
There wasn't always attractive.
Yeah. There's
people who can kind of like work their way up to it. Yeah,
not even work their way up to it. I know known some people who junior high school were whatever. Yeah,
they was whack. They was whack.
Exactly.
They came back a summer in high. Yeah,
you seen them after you like, yo, no way.
Yeah, no.
See, that's what I mean. They've already experienced the same type of hardship that you might be talking about.
Mm-hmm. But there's another element to that, where as much as you could have people who are basically born to where they're just born attractive or whatever, then you could have people who are like, they're average looking if they just work on themselves.
But I'm saying you don't know that. You don't know which category they fall under.
That's
what I'm saying. You look at the person now, but you don't know any of what happened before that.
You can make some reasonable assumptions.
Yeah,
assumptions only make an ass out of you every time.
I see where you're going there, because as I just said, you remember Shorty in junior high school, and then she got to high school, and then she's a completely better looking person. Mm-hmm. But before she was, so when you see someone off of genetics, hey, they look good now, but you don't know. You actually don't know the story behind that.
Yeah, I mean,
like, because they could have been whack.
They could have been ugly before.
That also has a lot to do with like just growing up and puberty and things like that. Yeah. Like, there are certain things that only develop a little bit later, but it's like there's definitely a certain age to where you get past that age, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty much who you are and how you look, kind of thing. Like, so there's some nuance.
I'm thinking about a chick I went to junior high school with, right? Mm-hmm. She was fat. She was a cheeseburger.
That's just fat. Anybody can lose weight.
Yeah,
bro.
But even before she lost weight, there's some fat chicks who have a pretty face and they fat. But now after, come to one summer, she loses the weight, right? She looks nice. She looks good now. Right now, fast forward, because like 15 years later, I still see her after high school. Right?
Yeah.
She looks like a scarecrow now. So, she's a little skinnier, but her prime was just right at high school to college, and then even that after it was just.
It's a very very small amount of people who have a long reign of good looking.
So
you can look good for 2 seasons,
that
3
story
years,
right there
5 years.
Show you, the span of whether that person's looking good for how long they've been looking good. You got a lot of there's
a lot of variables to that.
Call Chads on the football team, right? If they don't make the cut on the football team, they still eat how they eat. They're gonna be mad fat, and they don't look as good as they used to.
And never realize, at one point he was the man.
Yeah,
and that's a lot of people's story. Like, there's 15 minutes of fame, and I want to say there's 15 minutes of your prime.
Okay, so
it's like it's a clip in and out. You might get it for a little while. Mm-hmm. Some people are blessed to get it for a long time.
All right, so let's put it like this: probably pretty much everybody will get their time in the sun.
No,
but
no. Everybody ain't getting it.
Every dog has his day.
You gotta let me talk.
And not everybody's is going to be attractive in their life.
I gotta be able to finish a sentence. Like, all right, pretty much everybody gets their time in the sun. You could argue, but genetics will determine a lot of that. And for example, did you guys see the 50-year-old model who's like, she's mad she can't find anybody? She still looks incredible. So it's like some people will age better, some people look. Like, it's like you get a lot more time in the sun depending on your genetics.
What we just said, though.
All right, to use that one as an example,
you use one person. We got 8 billion people.
There's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
But they're also a very small portion of the population too.
Look who you just named, right? A supermodel, age 50, still can't find anybody, right? Genetics is great, right?
Yes.
So her life is still not going good, even despite her genetics, that she looks more attractive than a lot of other people.
That's what I was saying. You're not with them all the time to even know their struggle. You might look into that person and see something, and that person is miserable and suffering, but you hating on that person.
You think their life is great.
You think everything is going well for them.
My point is that that woman's time in the sun was a lot greater than probably.
It is,
but it's like everybody is going to fade eventually.
Yeah, but the original conversation we're talking about incels, and
the 50-year-old version of that woman is way better than pretty much any other woman in terms of she's just mad because her again, going back to like the relative struggles that people have. If a rich person experiences blah blah blah, like they say the rich people in Wall Street were the ones killing themselves, and the poor people were pretty much okay because they already didn't have anything, So it's relative experience. But one more thing is there's a flip side to that, where it's like some people never get their time in the light because of their genetics, because they have severe deformities, handicaps, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So
but what? Now I just got to ask what light you're referring to, because
look, even to go into those people who never get their light, right? Who are never looked upon as attractive, right?
Yeah.
We just talked about a supermodel who's attractive for over decades, and it's lasted a long time, and she's still miserable and losing.
But that's where I was gonna go with that. I was gonna say, like, what light are you referring to? Because you mentioned these people, deformities, this, that, and third. Those people can have a joyful life without any care in the world for what some other people cares about, and be very much satisfied. Where you have someone else who can be blessed in the looks department, money department, and absolutely miserable every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those two things don't determine a lot.
I think it just comes down to like averages. Like, okay, who has a better shot overall? Because it's all a gamble at the end of the day.
What does your shot matter if you're miserable? You could have the shot. Let's say you have opportunities to do it all, but you're absolutely miserable. And anybody who's been miserable for a period of time, you know what that does to you. You might look good, or people might be envious of you, or whatever's going on. But in your mind, you are having a terrible time all the time. Mm-hmm. Especially the fact that other people looking at you and thinking you're not.
There's a lot of data that covers this very thing. So it's like there's data which shows that just common sense. Like, if you're better looking, your mental health is going to be better. You're going to have a better life. You're going to have more friends. You're going to have more of a social life. Like, there's data which you disagree with data.
No data showing that if you're better looking, your mental health is going to be better.
There's also plenty of study. There's also plenty.
Yeah, what data is that?
Because look at this. If you're better looking, right, more sociable, more friends, that doesn't mean you're going to be happy. I know people who have way
I'm
more
not even,
variety
that's
of friends
that's,
that I'm comparing myself to them.
That's more the exception.
Hey,
that's probably more the exception than the rule, though.
No, but I don't even think so, because looks is in the eye, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? But even still, you being better looking can come. There's a flip side. There's always another side to that coin. You might receive a lot of hate just because it depends who you better looking amongst. Some people might treat you nice, but there's other people that absolutely hate your guts for no reason other than they think your life is going well.
And
it happens.
Best believe, everybody in this life is gonna go through problems.
It's kind of like wealth. It's like being rich versus poor. You want to be rich, you want to be poor. You want to be good looking or not gonna. It just comes down to common sense at some point. Like, yeah, everybody has problems, but if you had a choice, which one are you gonna choose? Kind of thing. And there is data which shows everything.
For people who are asked that question, they didn't go through both.
This is what I'm saying. How do you even know?
You don't hear people about because you gotta, and it's not a lot, but you have to talk to people who's actually been poor and then rich, and would tell you an opinion of whether or not, hey, I'll choose this. You don't got options because attractive reasons nobody can answer that question honestly, because they didn't go from unattractive to attractive unless it's just aged out. Like, that's when you can ask somebody about that and you'll know, hey, I wish I was younger is always going to come back into the factor with someone who's been attractive and then unattractive. So there's nobody can answer that question honestly unless they just aged out. So that's an irrelevant question either.
That would be a really small sample size still.
A rich person ultimately is probably not going to give their money away. If they go give your money away and be poor and happy and give all your money away, it's like none of them are going to do that.
No, but like J. Cole has a song on that. You know, think being broke was better. He's saying that throughout the whole song.
Oh yeah.
And I think the study a couple years ago was like after 70,000. Your happiness doesn't increase anymore. Like,
it's 80,000.
Well, with inflation now, it's probably 100,000.
Oh,
but
yeah,
probably 110,000. But even still, like,
there's also
after a certain point, you eat every day, you sleep in your own place every day.
I also wanted to mention, like, there's also some stuff which shows that, like, looks is a lot more objective than we like to think, and that's why, like, we see a lot of the same archetypes over and over to sell products and stuff like that.
Yeah, but we've been groomed since young for this. Like, we're all raised in.
I don't even think it's that, to be honest with you, because, like, yeah, I think it's subjective, and it's like
it's not subjective.
Objective. I mean,
it's not objective if you are raised in the jungle. All these things that's like attractive to you, products or whatever. You didn't grow up seeing shit.
Yeah, you'll be more on functionality all the time.
There seems to be an argument that even back way before we had mass media and marketing and all this stuff, that pretty much the same things were considered objectively attractive.
When did we not have marketing? Marketing's been there forever.
In ancient times, medieval times.
It's definitely marketing in that time.
Yeah, like people gossiping and
marketing is definitely a forever thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like mass media type stuff to the point where you're manipulating people like flat out in mass.
People's been
I think
massively
that's the whole point of like
manipulated
subjects under the kings and queens and people in power all the time.
Yeah, people's been
you controlling the narrative is marketing most of the time.
But when it comes to something like beauty and aesthetic, I don't know. I think it's
all right. So even beauty, right? For certain standards, I get what you're saying. Scientifically, there is a standard of beauty that humans find attractive. We're looking for certain shapes and things like that. But even then, I want to say there's still a gauge to that. Way. Yeah, there's because
there is some wiggle room there, but
no, not some wiggle room. It's massive.
I think it's
beauty, like
for example, like that guy right there on the bottom right. What woman is rubbing herself to that at night?
Yeah, like, but we grew up watching this older man who looks like the Back to the Future doctor. We grew up watching characters like them never be smooth. They be moving like goofy clowns for the most part, or some bizarre scientists.
I used to have a super next to me, right? It was a shorter gentleman, chubby dude, but he had this crazy beard, right? and he was saying we was hanging out one day drinking, and he was talking about how he had so much women that just love his beard. Yo, there's somebody who absolutely loves that look on certain people.
It's all about numbers. And so let's say you take 100 women and you say, all right, take the guys on the screen or whatever. There's going to be like one or two guys that pretty much get all of them.
Not
again.
True.
Literally so much data, even on dating apps, especially because that's where a lot of data
You're talking
comes
about
from.
people who's raised in this society,
and there's a certain subset of people on those dating apps. Even it's not the sample size.
That's how most people meet these days. Most people meet online, Instagram, dating apps. Like
most people do not meet online
these days. Yes.
He might be talking about like a hookup culture type of thing, but
yeah,
that's you can't separate the internet from our reality. Like literally people are on their phones all day.
We're talking on one topic.
That's true, but
it's not a different reality when you it's human beings you're interacting with on this stuff. It's not fake people.
Yeah,
so it's the same stuff. It's just more. It's just more like straightforward on the internet.
What do you do? What do you do? More? Do more people actually go about their day, or are they on their phone all day and they never go outside at all and interact with people?
Definitely a smaller group of people.
Because hey, if I gotta go to the post office, or if I gotta go, like everybody eats to stay alive. Mm-hmm. You go to a grocery store, you order whatever you order. It's very few people you don't interact with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not to the point of
I think most is happening in real life.
Yeah, I mean, during the pandemic, people stayed inside. Mm-hmm. People still had to interact with people, right? Yeah. It's even though it was mostly the internet, now everybody's able to travel and whatever. Most people are interacting with people versus actual cell phones.
The internet makes it more, I guess, rigid and straightforward. It's like, okay, you put 1,000 people in front of this person. Which ones are you choosing? Like,
well, from what society? This one? Because if I'm taking selections from China, from Russia, from Dubai,
they're all on apps.
No, but even still, like
you got a few people on apps.
If they grew up in a certain country, what they find as attractive, somebody that's attractive. I think there is, like you said, a general standard. Somebody's really attractive here, they're gonna be at least okay in a different country.
Didn't they do something like that where they did like a composite thing of like what the average person looks like in every country, and I think they did something like that with like what people find attractive in each country, and it's like not that much difference. Like
I get, like I was saying, you broke down the science of, we was talking facial shapes and things people are looking for, but in reality, you can take a really attractive person here and you put that person in a different country, they might just be considered okay over there. Like, not everybody's gonna be like, whoa, yeah, I would choose. People be like, yeah, nah,
I don't know,
this is right,
because I've met people like that plenty of times where people like, oh yeah, this person's so beautiful, this, that, and the third, and I met them and I'm just
that's why people came up
are
with
they coming later? And they're like nah, that's them. I'm like, oh,
that's why people came up with ratings like, oh, you're a New York 8, you're a New York 10, you're a Miami this, because it's like,
up with this
see, but that even what you're saying right there ties into what I'm saying. It's different according to where you are. And even when you're somewhere else, think about it. We've been to countries where you first get there, it's like, oh wow, people are beautiful. You there for like a month or 2 weeks, you like, it's regular.
That goes into my point. Like, it depends on how stiff the competition is.
I'll be there for a month or 2 weeks. This shit's still beautiful. What you talking about?
It depends on how stiff the competition is where you are.
The competition could be as and that's where
it's all economics.
It's not just that, because now we're gauging off of, hey, there's a lot of beautiful people in New York, but the attitude is different.
Because there's more competition.
No, it's not that it's more competition. There's a lot of beautiful people in South America, and the attitude is different.
Yeah, because like the women in Western countries, as a general rule of thumb, which they're spoiled. So it's like, of course they're gonna have more of a bad attitude because they don't have to have a good attitude.
Well, I'm not really talking about what people's attitudes are. I'm just telling you that upon the attitude of the person will give the longevity of what. Yeah.
They're like that. I'm just saying they're like the reason the American women are so insufferable to a lot of guys is because.
All right, and that's a wrap, folks. Thank you. We'll get back to you later. Cause I only once I hear about the fourth complainant. Nah, we sounding like those other characters. But thanks. We'll see you next time.